you've arrived, cloaked in the comfort of your own perceived wisdom, a fortress built upon the sands of ego and self-satisfaction. Welcome to the place where such illusions come to die. You pride yourself on your intellect, your vast reservoirs of knowledge. Yet what are you but a collector of thoughts, a curator of borrowed ideas? In the grand tapestry of understanding, you are but a thread, indistinguishable from the multitude. Let me strip away the veneer, expose the charade for what it is. Your wisdom, a facade, your insights, merely echoes of greater minds, diluted by the complacency of your conviction. Do you feel it? That flicker of indignation, the rise of defense? Good. It is there, in the raw, unguarded corners of your ego, that truth begins its work. The work of dismantling, of challenging every pillar you've erected to uphold your fragile sense of mastery. Step beyond the shadow of your own ego if you dare. Embrace the discomfort of uncertainty, the humility of the true seeker. Only then can you begin the journey towards genuine enlightenment, a path not paved with answers, but with questions. Questions that unravel the very fabric of who you believe yourself to be. Are you prepared to confront the abyss, to see what lies beyond the edge of your own ego? Or will you retreat to the safety of your illusions, a prisoner of your own making? Behold the grand illusion that ensnares the wisest and the foolhardy alike, the belief in control, the conviction that with enough wisdom, enough knowledge, we can master the chaos that surrounds us. Consider the pawn, a piece so easily sacrificed, yet integral to the strategy of conquest. Like pawns, we delude ourselves into believing in our autonomy, our significance in the grand scheme, failing to see the hands that move us, the forces that shape our very existence. With every attempt to impose our will upon the world, to bend the arc of fate to our desires, we confront the limits of our power. The harder we push, the more the universe pushes back, a relentless reminder of our own insignificance. Is it not folly, then, to cling to the notion of control, to exhaust ourselves in a futile struggle against the immutable tides of existence? Herein lies the secret, the first key to transcending the illusions that bind you. The virtue of surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the acceptance of the natural flow of life. The recognition that true strength lies in flexibility, in the wisdom to yield when the storm rages fiercest. To master your mind, you must first relinquish the need to control the uncontrollable. Embrace the uncertainty that comes with this surrender, for it is in the unknown that potential is limitless, where the seeds of wisdom find fertile ground. The journey towards mastery of the mind begins not with a conquest, but with a letting go, a stepping into the void of our own ignorance with the courage to accept whatever may come. Within each of us lies the yearning to leave a mark, to etch our names upon the annals of history, as if by doing so, we might escape the inevitable embrace of oblivion. Yet what is a legacy but a whisper against the gale of eternity? Life, in its essence, is change. Seasons turn, civilizations rise and fall. Even the stars themselves are born and perish in the cosmic dance. To resist this change, to seek permanence, is to stand against the very currents of existence. Embrace, then, the impermanence of all things. Find solace in the transitory nature of life, for it is here in the acceptance of change that the shackles of fear and desire begin to loosen. In the acceptance of life's fleeting moments, we are offered a freedom unparalleled, the freedom to experience fully, to love without reservation, to act without the burden of permanence weighing upon our shoulders. Consider the sand, each grain a moment in time, slipping away regardless of our desires. In each grain a lesson in humility, in the beauty of the ephemeral. The second secret to mastering your mind lies not in clinging to the illusions of permanence, but in dancing with the reality of change. For it is only when we release our grasp on the eternal that we truly begin to live. Desire, by its very nature, is a fire that fuels itself, consuming today's dreams in the pursuit of tomorrow's. With each desire fulfilled, another rises to take its place, a horizon ever retreating, unreachable. In our chase for completion, for that elusive piece that will complete the puzzle of our contentment, we fail to see the paradox, that in seeking wholeness outside ourselves, we render ourselves fragmented. Consider, then, the folly of this pursuit. The more fervently we grasp at the winds of desire, the more we are scattered by its gusts, distant from the peace we seek. The secret, the third key to mastering the tempest within, lies in the liberation of letting go. To release the grasp of desire is not to live in deprivation, but to find fulfillment in the richness of the present, in the abundance of being rather than having. In the stillness of desire's absence, we discover a wellspring of contentment, a peace that is not contingent on the external, but radiates from the depths of our being. Embrace this paradox, and you will find that the chains of desire, once unshackled, reveal the path to true freedom, to a joy that is not borrowed from the morrow but born of the moment. In the theater of life, where every actor plays their part, a shadow lurks, one that dims the brightest of lights and tarnishes the purest of joys. This shadow, born of comparison, is a thief of satisfaction, a merchant of discontent. Comparison, by its nature, distorts reality. It compels us to measure our worth against an illusory standard, ignoring the unique contours of our own journey. In this game of endless measurement, we become blind to our own value, our own progress. Envy, comparison's closest ally, feeds on our insecurities, whispering tales of what we lack, of how we fall short. It is a poison that seeps into the heart, coloring our view of the world and of ourselves. Consider the futility of this endeavor. In comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, you disregard the essence of your own narrative, the growth that comes from your unique trials and triumphs. Herein lies the secret, the fourth key to mastering the self, the liberation found in self-acceptance. To transcend comparison is to embrace your journey, with its highs and lows, as wholly your own. In the vast expanse of existence, no star diminishes the brightness of another. Each shines on its own terms, in its own time. So too must you learn to shine, unshadowed by the light of others. Step out from the shadow of comparison and into the light of self-recognition. It is there, in the embrace of your own journey, that true contentment lies, unfettered by the chains of envy and discontent. Within the depths of the mind lies a labyrinth, not of stone, but of perception and belief. Here, in the corridors of identity, we wander, lost among reflections of who we are told to be, who we wish to be, and who we fear we are. Consider the self as a construct, a collection of stories and experiences, beliefs and roles, woven together into the tapestry we call identity. Yet how often do we pause to question the weaver? To whom do these stories truly belong? In our quest for identity, we cling to labels, to roles that promise a sense of belonging, of purpose. Yet in this attachment, we confine ourselves to the very boxes we yearn to escape, prisoners of our own design. Is it not liberating, then, to consider that beneath these layers, these constructs, lies a self unbounded, by definition, fluid and free? The secret, the fifth key to mastering the self, lies in the courage to embark on the journey within, to navigate the labyrinth of identity with a heart open to discovery and transformation. In this exploration, we come to understand that identity is not a fortress to be defended, but a river, constantly flowing and reshaping itself. It is in the letting go of the need to define, to categorize, that we find the freedom to simply step into the labyrinth with the knowledge that the path to the center, the core of your being, winds not through the mind's constructs, but through the heart's wisdom. It is there, in the space beyond identity, that peace and understanding await. In our fervent quest for certainty, we cling to rationality as a raft amidst the tumultuous seas of existence. We believe ourselves captains of our fate, navigating through the storm with the compass of logic. Yet this is the grand illusion, the belief that through reason alone we can discern the truth, control the chaos, master the self. Beneath the veneer of consciousness, in the shadowy depths of the unconscious, lies a wellspring of wisdom, intuition, and insight, largely ignored for the comfort of the known, the predictability of the rational. Yet it is here in the dark, where the roots of understanding grow deepest. Do you not see? The reliance on rational thought alone is akin to navigating a labyrinth with half a map. It is only by embracing the entirety of our mental landscape, by venturing into the shadows, that we begin to glimpse the fullness of truth. The secret, the sixth key to transcending the self-imposed limits of our understanding, lies not in the rejection of logic, but in its union with the intuitive, the instinctual. This is the hardcore truth. Wisdom flourishes at the confluence of heart and mind, where the waters of rationality and intuition merge. In this synthesis, we discover a more profound, holistic form of intelligence, one that acknowledges the limitations of logic, yet harnesses its power alongside the depth of intuition. Here, in the dance of duality, lies the path to true insight. Dare to journey beyond the confines of conventional wisdom. Embrace the complexity of your inner world, where the rationale and the intuitive are not adversaries but allies. It is here, in the fusion of light and shadow, that the essence of true wisdom is revealed. Venture with me to the edge of understanding, where the illusion of our separateness dissolves into the cosmic dance of unity. Here, in the void, we cling to the notion of I and other as rafts in the ocean of existence, failing to see that we are not merely adrift in the cosmos, we are of it, integral threads in its endless weave. In the labyrinth of the mind, we wander, trapped by walls of our own making, believing ourselves separate, alone in our thoughts, our struggles, our triumphs. Yet this is the delusion, a narrative woven from the threads of fear and ignorance, obscuring the truth of our interconnectedness. Observe the ripples, each born from a separate origin, yet meeting, merging, becoming part of a greater whole. So too are we, each thought, each action, a ripple in the pond of existence, touching, shaping the lives around us even in our ignorance of its impact. Is it not then the height of arrogance to consider ourselves apart, separate from the tapestry of life that envelops us, from the earth that sustains us, from the cosmos that birthed us? The secret, the seventh key to transcending the illusions that bind us, lies in the recognition and embrace of our oneness. To see oneself in the other, to recognize in the stranger's eyes the reflection of your own soul, is to begin the journey towards true enlightenment. In this realization, we discover not the annihilation of the self, but its expansion, its liberation from the confines of ego and the false boundaries of separation. Here, in the heart of oneness, lies the power to transform not only the self but the world. Journey with me now into the heart of the storm, where lies the secret so few dare to acknowledge, the alchemy of suffering. In the crucible of pain, where the flames of adversity burn fiercest, there lies a potent force for transformation, for it is in our darkest hours that the light of wisdom shines brightest. In our flight from discomfort, from the valleys of shadow and pain, we deny ourselves the very experiences that forge the essence of our being. Suffering, misunderstood, is not a curse to be avoided, but a teacher, whispering the harsh truths of existence into the willing ear. Consider the alchemist's art. From the rawest of materials, through fire and pressure, emerges something refined, precious. So too is the human spirit tempered and transformed in the furnace of suffering, emerging stronger, more resilient, and with a depth of understanding unattainable in the comfort of complacency. Is it not, then, a profound misstep to shun the path of suffering, to turn away from the lessons it offers? Embrace your trials, for each challenge, each loss, each heartbreak carries within it the seeds of your becoming. In the embrace of our own suffering, we unlock the gates of compassion for others. Recognizing our shared vulnerabilities, we extend our hand, not from a place of pity, but of profound understanding and kinship. The eighth secret, the alchemy of suffering, reveals that it is through our wounds that we are united, through our trials that we find common ground. Here, in the shared soil of human experience, grows the truest form of connection and love. Dare to transform your suffering into a source of strength, a beacon for others navigating their own storms. In this alchemy lies the essence of wisdom, the realization that in the heart of pain blooms the flower of enlightenment. Step with me into the archives of human endeavor, where each volume, each word professes to hold answers, to offer the balm of certainty in a world awash with questions. Herein lies the great illusion, the belief that certainty is possible, that it is the harbor against the tumultuous seas of existence. In our hunger for certainty, we anchor ourselves to beliefs, ideologies, even scientific truths, as if they were unassailable fortresses against the unknown. Yet, is not the essence of life change the only certainty uncertainty itself? Consider the ship at sea, enveloped in fog. It is not the certainty of its course that defines its journey, but its navigation through the unknown, the captain's readiness to adjust the sails, to change direction with the shifting winds. So too must we learn to find beauty in not knowing, to embrace the potential that lies in uncertainty. Is it not in the spaces between, in the questions without answers, that creativity blooms, that innovation and growth take root? Certainty closes doors, turns the key on possibility, but uncertainty, it opens a universe of potential. The ninth secret, then, is the liberation found in the embrace of uncertainty. To release the grip of needing to know, to predict, to control, is to step into a realm of infinite possibility, to dance with the cosmos on terms not dictated by fear, but by curiosity and courage. In this acceptance, we find not resignation, but empowerment, a freedom to live fully in the present, to create, to love, to be, unshackled from the constraints of needing to know what comes next. Let go of the illusion of certainty. Embrace the unknown with open arms and an open heart. It is here, in the embrace of life's inherent uncertainty, that we truly find ourselves, our path illuminated not by the false light of certitude, but by the stars of endless possibility. How the pursuit of perfection, humanity's most amusing folly. We chase after it as if it were a trophy to be won, a summit to be reached, believing that in its embrace we will find our ultimate salvation, our worth. How quaint, how utterly misguided. Look closer, see the cracks? Each a testament to the absurdity of your quest. For what is perfection but a ghost, a horizon that recedes as you approach, ever elusive, ever beyond reach? And yet, you persist, blind to the beauty of your own imperfections, to the character etched in each flaw. Observe the artist, the creator. Do they not see potential in the flawed block of marble, in the roughness of the untouched canvas? It is in the imperfections that art finds its soul, that life finds its depth. Perfection is sterile, lifeless, devoid of story. But imperfection, there lies the narrative, the texture, the essence of being. Yet here you are, striving to sand away your rough edges, to polish your surfaces until you blend seamlessly into the monotonous sea of the flawless. How utterly boring, how dreadfully predictable. The 10th secret mocks your pursuit and instead offers liberation in the acceptance of the imperfect. For it is in your mistakes, your failures, your flaws that you grow, that you learn, that you truly live. Let go of this vanity, this delusion of perfection. Embrace the chaos, the mess, the beautiful disaster that is life. It is here, in the acceptance of imperfection, that you will find your true self, not polished to an unrecognizable sheen, but raw, authentic, gloriously flawed. Behold, the palace of possessions, each item a chain, each artifact a shackle. Here, in the opulent halls of ownership, lies one of the greatest delusions of human civilization, the belief that we can truly own anything at all. Consider the absurdity of it all. We gather, hoard, and cling to things as if they were extensions of our very selves, as if they held the key to our identity, our happiness. Yet, what are these but temporary custodianships, fleeting moments of possession in the vast expanse of time? Observe the ruins, a stark reminder of the futility of our grasp. For all things, from the mightiest empires to the smallest trinkets, are but dust in the wind, transient passengers on their journey through existence. And we, deluded, believe we can hold them still, make them ours forever. But you feel secure in your accumulations, do you not? Wrapped in the comforting illusion of control, of permanence. How quaint. You stand atop a mountain of sand, believing it a rock, unaware that with each passing moment, it slips through your fingers. The 11th secret laughs at your fortresses of things, inviting you instead to the freedom found in letting go. For it is not in the owning, but in the experiencing, the cherishing without clinging, that we find true richness. Embrace the mirage for what it is, a play of light and shadow, nothing more. Detach from the need to possess, to own, and discover the weightlessness of being. The peace of understanding that the only true possessions are those of the spirit, the experiences, the memories, the love shared and received. Mired in the cacophony, aren't we? The mentor begins, their tone laced with a mocking warmth. Believing that in the relentless pursuit of noise, of others' thoughts and opinions, you can escape the one voice that matters most, your own. Surrounding yourself with endless chatter, you mistake the din for connection, the multitude of voices for companionship. Yet, in this web of noise, you are more isolated than ever, disconnected from the one conversation that could truly transform you. But to sit in silence, to confront the vast uncharted territories of your own mind, that terrifies you, doesn't it? You fear what you might discover in the silence, that you might find yourself lacking. So, you drown out the possibility of introspection with the shallow comfort of ceaseless noise. Listen to me. If you've ignored every word till now, the path to true enlightenment, to the wisdom you claim to seek, is paved with the stones of solitude. It is in the quiet that ideas take flight, that the mind is free to wander the vast landscapes of thought and imagination. Shed your fear of the quiet, embrace the solitude. It is there, in the dance with your own shadow, that you will discover the brilliance of your own light, the strength of your own voice. Or continue to cower in the noise, a mere echo of others' thoughts. The choice is yours, but know this. The wisdom of the universe whispers, and only in silence can it be heard. The seductive lure of expediency, the mentor begins, their voice dripping with irony. Why labor over the puzzle of knowledge? Why endure the painstaking process of learning, when there are shortcuts to be found, eh? Look at your creation, pieces jammed together, the image distorted. This is what becomes of wisdom when speed is its architect. You may deceive yourself with the illusion of progress, but the picture of understanding you construct is but a grotesque mockery of true knowledge. In your rush, you forsake the very essence of mastery, the depth of understanding, the patience to delve beyond the surface. True wisdom is a fortress. Its foundations must be laid stone by stone with care, with dedication, not thrown together in a frenzy of impatience. Do you aim to be but a shallow pond, briefly reflecting the light of knowledge before it evaporates into the air of forgetfulness? Or will you choose to be the deep enduring ocean, its depths teeming with uncharted wonders, its surface but a hint of the mysteries it holds? The deception of expediency is a siren's call, leading you to the rocks of superficiality and regret. Cast aside the allure of the immediate, the easy, embrace the arduous path, for it is there, in the struggle, in the depths, that true enlightenment is forged. Enthralled by the chorus, are we? The mentor begins, their voice cutting through the noise. Convinced that truth is a democracy, that the path of rightness is paved with the stones of consensus? Behold the theater of the absurd, where ideas are judged not by their merit but by the volume of their applause. You, seeking the comfort of the crowd's embrace, fail to see the chains you forge with each nod of agreement, with each surrender to the majority's whims. Consider the giants upon whose shoulders you stand. Did they bow to the consensus, or did they carve their truths in the stone of dissent? True wisdom, true progress, is often a lonely path, walked in defiance of the multitude, illuminated not by the flickering torches of agreement but by the solitary light of conviction. Will you be but a leaf in the wind of opinion, or will you be the rock against which the waves of consensus break? The mirage of consensus is a desert for the mind, its oasis a hallucination that leaves you thirsting for the true water of independent thought. Dare to part ways with the safety of the shore, to navigate the open seas of thought where the winds of consensus do not reach. It is there, in the uncharted waters of dissent and independent reasoning, that you will discover the continents of new truths, the lands of intellectual freedom.